In the year 1875, in a quiet town called Alls in France, a baby girl was born. Her name was Jeanne Louise Calment. At that time, the world was very different from today. There are no cars, no airplanes, no mobile phones, and no internet. People traveled in horse-drawn carts, and at night, homes were lit with candles instead of electric lights. No one could imagine that this small baby would one day become the oldest person in human history. Jeanne did not do anything special when she was born. She was just a normal child. But her life would slowly turn into something unbelievable. As Jeanne grew older, the world around her began to change. In 1889, when she was only 14 years old, the famous Eiffel Tower was built in Paris. Today, it is one of the most well-known buildings in the world. A few years later, in 1896, Jeanne got married at the age of 21. Around the same time, Mahatma Gandhi had just moved to South Africa. Interestingly, Gandhi was only 6 years older than Jeanne. Time continued to move forward. By 1914, Jeanne was 39 years old. She was living a happy life with her husband and daughter. Suddenly, everything changed when World War I began. Europe was shaken by war. Millions of people lost their lives, families were destroyed, and fear spread everywhere. Jeanne lived through this dark period and saw the world suffer in ways never seen before. Years passed again, and in 1934, another dangerous time started in Europe. Hitler was rising in Germany, and the world once again felt unsafe. During this period, Jeanne faced a heartbreaking loss. Her daughter died due to a lung infection. Jeanne was 59 years old at that time. For most people, 59 is an age when life slows down. Many women are already grandmothers by then. But Jeanne's story was far from over. In fact, it was not even halfway complete. In 1942, World War II reached its peak. This war was even more deadly than the first one. Millions of people died, and countless families were separated forever. Jeanne also suffered deeply during this time. When she was 64 years old, Jeanne lost her husband. Even after this painful loss, she continued to live and move forward with her life. In 1947, a historic moment took place far away in Asia. India became independent, and Jawaharlal Nehru raised the national flag. At that time, Jeanne was already 72 years old, watching history change again. Without realizing it, she had seen entire eras change. Horses were replaced by cars, and candles were replaced by electric lights. The world was moving faster than ever before. In 1969, Jeanne celebrated her 94th birthday. That same year, humans achieved something incredible. They walked on the moon for the first time. While astronauts stepped onto the moon, Jeanne continued her quiet life back on Earth. In 1985, when computers were starting to become popular and major political changes were happening around the world, Jeanne was already 110 years old. Until this age, she lived in her own home, but later she moved into a nursing home. Soon, the world began to notice her. In 1988, newspapers and television channels started talking about Jeanne. People were shocked to learn about her age. She was now known as the oldest living human. Finally, in 1997, Jeanne Louise Calment passed away at the age of 122 years. By that time, the world had entered the age of computers and the internet. She had lived through 3 centuries. No one before her had lived this long, and even today, no one has broken her record. This brings us to an important question. How did she live for so long? Was it only luck, or was there something more behind her long life? Luck does play a role. Living for 122 years certainly needs a lot of luck. But science tells us something very interesting. Research shows that only about 20% of our lifespan depends on our genes. The remaining 80% depends on our lifestyle and environment. That means what we eat, how we move, how we think, and how we live our daily lives matters a lot. So what kind of lifestyle helps people live longer? To find the answer, scientists decided to study people who were already living very long lives. And this is where our real journey begins. Scientists wanted to understand one simple question. Why do some people live much longer than others? Instead of guessing, they decided to study people who were already living very long lives. In the early 2000s, an explorer and writer named Dan Buettner started working on this idea with National Geographic. His plan was simple. He wanted to find places in the world where people live the longest and healthiest lives. To do this properly, Dan did not work alone. He formed a team of experts. This team included scientists, historians, doctors, diet experts, and researchers. Together, they studied population records from different countries. They searched for areas where many people live to the age of 100 years or more. People who live for 100 years are called centenarians. Soon, something very interesting appeared on the map. In some small regions of the world, there were far more centenarians than normal. These places were very different from modern cities. Life there was slower and simpler. Dan and his team marked these places with blue circles on the map. That is why they were later called blue zones. The first blue zone was found in Sardinia, an island in Italy. In some villages there, many men were living past the age of 100, which is very rare. Another blue zone was found in Okinawa, a group of islands in Japan. People here were not only living long lives, but they were also staying healthy for a long time. Many of them could walk, cook, and work even in old age. The third blue zone was found in California, USA, in a community called Loma Linda. People here belonged to a religious group known as the Seventh-day Adventists. They followed a very disciplined and healthy lifestyle. The fourth blue zone was discovered on the island of Icaria in Greece. People there had very low rates of heart disease and lived relaxed lives. The fifth blue zone was found in Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica. Many elderly people here were active and full of energy, even in old age. Now, the big question was, why were people in these 5 places living longer than the rest of the world? Was it because of clean air? Was it because of fresh water? Or was it something else? Dan and his team spent many years living with these people, watching their daily routines, eating their food, and talking to them. Finally, they found the answer. It was not magic. It was not expensive medicine. It was not special genes. The real reason was their daily lifestyle habits. Across all 5 blue zones, the researchers noticed 9 common habits. These habits were simple, natural, and easy to follow. Dan called these habits the Power 9. Let's understand them one by one in a very simple way. Number 1, move naturally. People in blue zones do not go to gyms. They do not lift heavy weights. They do not run marathons. Instead, they move naturally all day. They walk to meet friends, work in their gardens, clean their homes themselves, and sit, stand, bend, and stretch many times a day. In modern life, we sit too much. We sit at home, in cars, and in offices. Studies show that sitting for many hours every day is very harmful to health. Even walking for just 10 to 15 minutes a day can reduce the risk of early death. In blue zones, walking is not exercise, it is just a part of life. Number 2, having a purpose. In Okinawa, people believe in something called Ikigai. It means a reason to wake up every morning. People do not retire and do nothing. Even at 90 or 100 years old, they feel useful. Their purpose can be simple: taking care of grandchildren, helping neighbors, gardening, or teaching something to others. Having a purpose gives life meaning, and studies show that it can help people live many years longer. Number 3, reducing stress. People in blue zones do feel stress, but they know how to reduce it. Some pray every day. Some take afternoon naps. Some spend time with friends and family. They do not rush all the time. They give their body and mind time to relax. Less stress means a healthier heart and a calmer mind. Number 4, the 80% rule. Eat less. In Okinawa, People follow a rule called harahachibu. It means eat until you are 80% full, not completely full. They stop eating before they feel stuffed. This simple habit is repeated every day and helps the body stay healthy. Eating less slows down aging, reduces diseases, and keeps weight under control. Many cultures and religions have similar practices, like fasting during Ramadan or Navratri. Even modern science shows that reducing calorie intake can improve health and help people live longer. Number 5. Plant-based diet. People in blue zones mostly eat plants, beans, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and grains. Meat is eaten very rarely, maybe once or twice a week. In some areas, people are completely vegetarian. Legumes like lentils, beans, and soy are a daily part of their meals. Tubers like sweet potatoes are also common. Studies show that a plant-based diet reduces risks of diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and even some cancers. Eating mostly plants keeps the body young and strong. Number 6. Moderate alcohol. Some people in blue zones, like Sardinia, drink a small amount of red wine every day. Usually, it is 1 to 2 glasses with meals. Red wine has antioxidants, like resveratrol, which can help the heart. But it is important to remember, this works only in moderation. Too much alcohol is harmful. The main secret is not alcohol. It's the healthy lifestyle these people already follow. Number 7. Belong, community connection. Almost everyone in blue zones belongs to a faith-based or social community. It does not matter which religion or belief system. The important thing is feeling part of a group. Helping others, volunteering, praying, or participating in community events makes life meaningful. Research shows that people who attend community activities live 4 to 14 years longer. Number 8. Loved ones first. Family is very important. People in blue zones care for their parents, children, and spouses. They live close to their family or with them. They invest time, love, and attention in relationships. Strong family bonds create emotional support and happiness, which helps people live longer. Number 9. Right tribe. Surround yourself with healthy friends. The last habit is to choose the right friends. People in blue zones have friends who encourage healthy habits, like exercise, good diet, and not smoking. Good friends influence behavior. If your friends are healthy, happy, and active, you're more likely to follow the same habits. This shows the power of social circles in living a long life. So, what can we learn from Jeanne Calment and the blue zones? Living a long life is not just luck. Yes, genetics play a small role, but 80% depends on lifestyle. Move naturally. Find a purpose. Reduce stress. Eat less. Eat more plants. Connect with family and friends. Surround yourself with supportive people. These simple habits are easy to follow. You do not need a special gym, expensive medicine, or a rare gene. Even if you cannot live to 122 like Jeanne, following these habits will make your life longer, healthier, and happier. Remember, long life is not just about years. It is about living well, enjoying family, friends, and your daily life. So start today. Walk a little more. Eat a little healthier. Smile. Spend time with loved ones. And who knows, maybe you will also reach a century of life with energy and happiness, just like the people of the blue zones.